Want beer. Oh, yeah? Well, so's your face. Stop touching my magic phone. Well, you're mistaken.
Vidka?
Okay.
You're really campaigning for Bitch of the Year, aren't you?
I swear, one of these times you're gonna wake up in a coma.
If we can focus, keep discipline, and not have quite as many mysterious deaths, Sunnydale is gonna rule!
Hey, Scoobies, and welcome to episode 56 of Gurardcast, the Buffy and Angel recap podcast that brings together Slay aficionados and virgins as we watch and review every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. And I'd like to say, we have an increasingly catchy theme song. We've had it forever.
I mean, and I used to hate it. I was like, Brandon, this is the dumbest shit ever. And now I'm like, ooh, hey, dance break before we do it.
I'm Brandon Ellison.
I'm Jewel Rocket Rose.
And we thank you guys so much for joining us. Just a heads up, Jewel and I were talking before the show, and today we are both, in Jewel's words, having a day.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Neither
I don't
of
want
us
to do
wanna
this.
be here.
I don't.
But it's not that we don't want to be here, because we love you guys. We love you guys.
No, I
It's
just
that-
don't want to deal with
We
anything
don't
other
wanna
than
do
my pillow
anything
and
today.
old episodes of Gossip
Yes.
Girl right now. That's what I need.
I just want to have some edibles, lay in bed, and go to sleep for several hours.
Hand me an unhide blankie and a remote, and we'll figure it out. I mean, that is my life at the moment.
Yeah, but we are going to do the best we can to give you guys the level of show that you're used to, which is a pretty easy bar to clear, frankly.
I mean, okay, Brandon, can you just go over like your top 5 things that are happening this week that makes your life a fucking day today?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll do
Let's
this real
do it.
quick.
Mhm.
I'm moving to Mexico tomorrow, and I'm not packed or ready at all.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with brother and niece's mom drama for about 3 days now. I went and visited my grandparents who are 85 and probably going to die soon, but I haven't seen them in 14 years, so it seemed like the right thing to do. And as Will has just pointed out, my allergies hate me. Hate me.
Oh,
My
yes.
whole inside of my face wants to kick me like from the inside and kick my eyeballs right out of my head like Mortal Kombat style. So and on top of that, it's just generally stressful. I'm getting family stuff situated here, and I'm in Texas, which always sucks. Jewel, tell me why your week sucks.
Okay. Well, my dog of 17 and a half plus years passed away. It was his time for the Rainbow Bridge. So that really sucked. Then about a couple days later, my father's very, very close friend, man who spent Thanksgiving with us the last few years, was murdered on the boardwalk in Los Angeles and Venice Beach. So that was, a thing. I'm doing the Kids' Choice Awards on top of like all the shit I have going on and having a full-time job now and other projects that I'm working on. So that's annoying. And then also my mom's having surgery tomorrow. So I am a hot meltdown mess. I have too much going on. It is too many things to think about. I texted my best friend this morning and was like, Kelsey, I am so like in my anxiety right now. I can't even get out of bed. I don't know what to do first. So life is hard and I just want to watch Gossip Girl and like drink ice water because that's like my new favorite drink at the moment. And
I will say this, as much as both of us are like, we don't really want to be here right now and everything sucks right now, I do like spending time with you guys and I do like being with Jewel. And even like getting into it now, I'm feeling better about it already just because we're here and it's what we do,
I'm
Maybe
not.
Jewel-
Well, maybe it'll
That's
come
fine.
back.
That's
Maybe
fine.
it'll come back.
That's fine. So before we get into today's
Brandon,
episode,
stop rubbing the fact that you are an evolved person in my face. Because at this moment, I need it to be about me and be on my bullshit and be in my day. I just can't.
I will tell you, first of all, Naomi said that we should get sponsorship from BetterHelp and have free therapy. And boy, could we use it.
I mean, a little bit, thank you, but also fuck you, Naomi, but I love you. Just like
Yeah.
a little bit of both.
We're just having days. And then I was supposed to fly out today, but then I changed my flight to tomorrow, but I forgot about it. So I scheduled the show for yesterday. And then yesterday I was dealing with bullshit. it's.
I
guys,
have
the
to
point
thank
is,
you because yesterday I could not have done this.
yeah.
No.
The point is, a lot of time and energy has gone into today's episode, mostly just getting us to stop from jumping off bridges. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We're gonna give you the best we can with what we have.
I mean, this is unfiltered, right? This is
Yes,
like
exactly.
welcome to it. Just like get in it, jump in. It's bubbling hot in here, and I'm tired.
Jewel, have you had any time to watch anything this week?
Obviously.
Hello?
I love you. I'm on my podcast. Can we talk later?
They're a guest now.
You guys listen, I'm sorry. It's my mom. Like this. No, I don't know.
So for those of you listening at home, Jewel's mother has called her. Not content to just disrupt the podcast while they're in the same home, she has now decided to call her for the 1 hour a week that Jewel needs to not be on the phone.
You just want to go home, you guys. Do you ever have that feeling where you're just like, you just want to go home? I don't know where home is, but I just want all of this to stop.
Yes.
And I want to go
every
home.
day of my life.
But that's like when I'm like, you know what? It's time to go home. It's time. Gotta go.
Today is just going to be a shit show, and we just have to deal with that. And that's just how it's going to be. Jewel, have you had any time to watch anything this week?
I watched myself eat an entire serving of pad thai noodles. I watched I've been watching Gossip Girl. I've been rewatching it. I needed to remember a better time.
Should I watch it?
It's so good. Should
we start a Gossip Girl podcast and you could be the Brandon of that one?
No, because I can't deal with that amount of work.
Okay, deal. Great. At least you're honest.
I mean, we are all aware on this podcast that Brandon is at minimum 65%. Like he is more than 50. He is more than 50, but then Naomi really comes in hot with something and I'm really just chilling.
So here's what I want to talk about before we get into our episodes. WandaVision finale aired on Friday. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning to watch it. It is one of the best finales I've ever seen of a TV show. It's one of the best TV shows I've seen in many, many years. It's very gay, first of all. It's very gay. It's very catty. It's not like the Marvel stuff, which I find really boring and repetitive and monotonous. It's beautifully written. It's beautifully acted. Catherine Hahn is the best actress in the world.
I love her.
She's so good in this show.
I've never seen this show. I should watch this show.
Yeah, you kind of have to watch the last two Avengers movies first, unfortunately.
I believe I have seen an Avengers movie.
Yeah, well, you got to watch the two most recent ones, and then you're good.
Can someone tell me and tag me in a post of what two films I need to be watching? Are they on HBO Max?
Will, you worked at a comic book store. You step it up and throw.
Tell me what I'm supposed to be watching. Private message me also. Make sure I get this information because I want to watch the Wanda.
A single spoiler about it because it is brilliant and it's only 9 episodes. It's super easy to get through and most of them are like 40 minutes.
And as we've established, WandaVision has nothing to do with Wakanda.
Not really. I mean, it's in the same universe, but no.
But Wakanda does not come. Chadwick Boseman is not in this, or the essence of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, no Chadwick Boseman. Very few, if any, Marvel cameos. A few like small ones, but no, none of those big superheroes are in this or anything. It's Scarlet Witch and Vision from the Avengers movies, and you don't really need to know much about them to go in. It's because nobody who was watching it as it aired knew what was happening either. We found that out as it went. And again, I have to point out, I am not a Marvel person, and I loved it.
I'm a Marvelous person.
Well, and Naomi says, can you watch WandaVision with no other Marvel knowledge? No, you can't. That's why I told her she has to watch at least the last two Avengers movies, or on Disney Plus, there's actually like a recap that you can watch. That's like 4 minutes for each character, or maybe 6 minutes for each character that tells their whole backstory. So that might actually be okay too.
Okay, but like if you had your druthers, if you could tell me really how to spend the next 24 hours of my life, would it only be Avengers 1 and 2 to watch, or would you slip a third or a fourth in there?
If I'm being entirely honest with you, I wouldn't even watch Avengers 1 and 2. I would just watch those recaps.
Okay.
Yep. And you can get through all 9 episodes pretty quick. And it is
yes, Brandon, I am watching something actually. Any
What is
mother-daughters out here, Ginny and Georgia, who is with me. This is like the fiery, feisty Gilmore Girls. I'm into it. And I feel like I want to be a Georgia, but I'm definitely more of a Ginny.
Okay, so let me tell you about Ginny and Georgia. Here's what I know about it. Nothing at all. However, Taylor Swift tweeted that she's mad at the show because they mocked the fact that she dates a lot of guys, and she says that it's sexist and it's a joke from 10 years ago.
That's the point of that it's not. Oh, listen, T Swifty, get it, girl. Like, we're all about women power and uplifting women. I'm all there with you. However, in the context of what they were saying in the scene, your argument holds up for shit. It's not about that. It's about the fact that they were mocking that.
I have one more thing I have to talk about real quick.
Yeah.
I listened while driving back and forth the hour and a half drive each way to pick up my niece like 4 times in the last month. I have been listening to Mariah Carey's audiobook, and it is so good.
Oh, yes.
Did you listen to it?
No, it is on my list. I can't wait. It's on my list this week.
It is fantastic. She has been through shit. The music industry tried to destroy her.
Many
she tried
times.
to destroy her. Her family tried to destroy her. She never had any training. She didn't know what she was doing. The only reason she has money is because she didn't sell her publishing rights for $5,000 in 1991 because she had just seen a documentary about the Beatles.
Yes, Mimi, you go, girl. Who does actually, you guys, my first big show ever where I had like an actual, like I had a placard with my name on it above my desk, which is really just a printout paper with the logo on it. It's fine. Whatever. It had my name on it, but I was working on a show and Mariah Carey was the biggest talent on that show. And I had to reopen a Kentucky Fried Chicken after closing.
And let me tell you, there are 2 times in that book when she cries while she's reading it. And if you've ever seen Mariah Carey act, you know that she cannot act. And she cries on command. Or not on command. She just cries very naturally while she's reading the stuff about her mom basically writing off her mom and her dad dying of cancer. And it's so beautiful and it's so well done. And she sings on it. She sings the lines that are printed in the book, like from song lyrics. She'll sing those lines from the songs a cappella. It's wonderful. Even if you don't like Mariah Carey, you have to watch it. You have to listen to it.
I have tingles and shivers. So you guys, I don't do music on my way to work in the morning either. I call my niece in the UK or I listen to audiobooks on tape. I have an Audible account. I am still old school with it. I mean, I have the Libby app, but I'm not using it. I want to buy it. I want to own it. I want to know it is in my thingy.
Yeah. So that's my suggestion. Please, everybody, if you're interested, and it goes to me, it kind of applies to Whedon or Buffy stuff. Shit, I gotta stop saying his name. It applies to Buffy stuff too, because it's like here's what the industry was like in the 90s, and I just love it. I really, really, truly love it. Let's talk about Out of My Mind, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode.
And you know what? I am out of my mind after watching that episode.
Buffy's in a race against time when the physical after effects of Riley's being used as a lab rat by the Initiative threatens his very life. When Riley stubbornly refuses help and goes into hiding, Buffy reluctantly turns to Spike for help, but he takes advantage of her situation for his own plot to rid his life of the Slayer once and for all. So this episode opens. Buffy's at the cemetery. She's killing, new vampires, and she's kind of annoyed that Spike and Riley are there helping her. She's like, "Why? I can do this alone, whatever." Which, by the way, finally, Buffy sees what the rest of us see, which is that Riley is completely unnecessary.
I have so many thoughts. I have so many feelings on this. First of all, I am an independent woman. I like to do things on my own for myself, and I really don't like help. I will accept help because I am also a polite person, but I also need you to stay the fuck out of my way if I say I got it.
Yeah.
And I feel like they are both like Spike is out there just, trying to live his life because his life is sad now. He can't beat people up, or people he wants to beat up, he can't beat up. He lives a very small existence and in a very dusty, dirty dungeon. And he sleeps in a coffin now.
And he's a joke. I mean, the next scene in this episode, he falls into an open grave after he vows to kill the Slayer.
Like he is there for comedic relief. Again, marginalized. Bad move. The person who made this. Now, Riley needs to step back, let her live, and needs to stop with this macho crap with his heart like racing out of his chest. He needs to chill the fuck out. Sit down. Sit down, bro. You got it.
So they go to the magic box. Buffy goes to the magic box, the store that Giles now owns.
The box of magic.
The box of magic, and finds out that he turned the back room into a training room, which is super cool.
We love Giles. I love Giles.
Yeah, we love Giles.
I didn't understand why you hated Giles.
I hated Giles.
That's an emotional issue for you.
I have daddy issues. Yeah, that's exactly why I hated Giles. And I mean, I still hate Giles for the reasons that I hate him, which are like he chose to do like the correct thing rather than the thing that is most beneficial for Buffy many times. And I actually hate him again when the 7th season runs around. But for now, I like him. So anyway, Harmony finds Spike, and Harmony is like, the Slayer's out. She's going to kill me. I'm her arch nemesis.
Oh my God. I love that. I love that Harmony scene. I thought I need her to be in this more.
When she's hiding in the coffin?
She was, when she was like, Spike, don't even pretend you saw me. Like, Buffy's going to kill you because you even talked to me. And he's like, I'm sorry, what's happening here? Yeah. And she's like, no, I'm the arch nemesis. Like, that's just who I am. You don't even know. There's been like all this stuff that happened and I almost killed her and it was a whole big thing, except it wasn't. You know why, you guys? Because we are all the most important people in our own universes. That is exactly what that is. Nicely done, writers.
Yep. So Buffy and Spike and Harmony are talking about how to kill the Slayer.
Spike.
Joyce is making breakfast for Dawn, and she has like a flash, a headache, or something like that. A little, what would you call
she
it?
Have an aneurysm? What's happening?
Yeah, like an aneurysm. And she looks at Dawn. She says, "Who are you?" And then she collapses on the floor, leading to more mystery of who
the fuck is. Why is Dawn there? Why are we still pretending? What is going on?
We will find out very, very soon. I believe in the next episode. Not that I haven't promised that before.
I don't believe you at all.
We meet a new character at the hospital. He is a very cute nurse named Ben.
I didn't really care about his presence.
Or an intern, rather, named Ben.
I thought he was just like a Doogie Howser.
No, he is going to play into a lot more in this season.
Ben's getting involved. Is she going to date Ben now?
We're going to be at the hospital a little bit this season. So get used to hospital stuff.
And Ben's going to be like the go-to doctor. Like, yo, Ben, come stitch me up.
Yeah, exactly. You're Ben. You do everything.
Ben.
And he's like, your mom's fine. Everything's okay. They don't know why she collapsed. And he's given Dawn his stethoscope. And Dawn is like putting the stethoscope on everyone's chest to hear their heartbeats. And Riley's heartbeat is off the fucking charts.
Creepy as fuck, though. Why is she like, how old is she? 14? That she's going around like, hey, yo, can I feel what? First of all, why are you a kid that you need to be entertained? Dawn. Why are you acting as if you were a child? Dawn. You are 14. Right. You are not playing those games. Dawn. You know how to behave. Who are you?
Well, Dr. Alice in the comments, by the way, if you don't follow us on Patreon, you should, patreon.com/GAC podcast, and you can interact with us during our episodes. Dr. Alice in the comments has pointed out, first of all, that I was wrong to call him a nurse, which I corrected immediately, but apparently that's not good enough. He is an intern, a doctor. And secondly, she would never give her stethoscope to anyone. Ever.
Right. See, because she's a real life doctor and no one is handing a 14-year-old something to play with.
At a hospital.
No.
It's like medical equipment, right? Use this IV bag.
In most countries, you would have had a child by now. So
exactly.
Stand up.
What? Okay.
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm
clearly
so
not
tired.
So a doctor is like, hey, you should stay in the hospital because you're at a high risk of heart attack. And Riley's like, nah. Buffy is trying to figure out how to help Riley, and she talks to Willow and Dawn. And she's like, the government's spying on Riley. I need to get someone to talk to him, but nobody's responding. I've been trying to reach out to the initiative. They don't exist anymore. Like, whatever. And she goes over to Riley's place, picks up the phone and just talks into the phone and then hangs it up. because she's convinced that his things are bugged. Which is not
Granted,
exactly how
again,
bugs work.
This
But
whole episode.
hold on.
made
You're
no
skipping
sense.
ahead. So Graham comes back. Now let me tell you something. Graham was one of Riley's roommates / military cohorts in season 4. Graham is so attractive.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
almost painful.
He's
Graham's
very good looking.
also a way better actor than Mark Blucas, who played Riley, and probably should have been Riley instead of Mark Blucas.
I like Mark Blucas. I do.
Know. I do too. I just like to hate him because we're supposed to hate him, but I actually do kind of like him.
I'm just so over his character. I'm ready for him to leave, and I don't understand why more army men are coming back. And what are they trying to do? Okay, sorry, I'm skipping ahead.
Yeah.
So, you know why this episode was dumb?
Well, you were skipping way ahead. So Graham is there, and Graham is like, "Hey, you need to come with us to Riley to see a doctor because Riley's been playing basketball and he's all sweaty." And Buffy is like, "We need to get him a doctor before he dies." Buffy talks to Spike about the doctor, so of course, like, Spike is like, "Well, fuck that noise. Like, I have a chip in my head. This guy's a brain surgeon."
Oh my god, that was so genius.
Obviously, he knows how to remove a chip from a brain.
A brain.
Yeah. And
parts and brains interchangeable.
Yeah. One thing I will point out real quick is that when Dawn put the stethoscope on herself, she does have a heartbeat, so she is human. It's like a normal heartbeat.
Well, are we afraid she's not human?
Well, you're asking where she is, who she is, where she came from. She is human.
So, I'm so sorry. We had to have deductive reasoning for that when she's human.
I mean, it is Buffy. She could be anything.
I don't feel like Buffy. I did not even consider that Dawn could have been a demon.
Okay.
I didn't even consider that. I didn't even consider that because I didn't even is that what's happening?
So
She's
Buffy
human.
So Buffy finds Riley in the caves where the initiative was. Yes.
Sorry, question. If a demon takes human form, do they have a heartbeat if they are still a demon?
Demons don't take human form.
Yes, they can. There was a demon. Yes. In Doyle in Angel
he was half demon, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm asking. Does he have a heartbeat? We didn't confirm that in that episode.
Well,
she could be a demon with a heartbeat.
Hashtag acceptance.
No, that could be a real thing. Is she not going to be a demon?
So Naomi points out that in the Puppet Show episode, the magician kid that had the dummy that was the vampire killer, demon killer, that he was a demon as well with a human face. So anyway, point is, Dawn's a human.
Dawn is
yes. So Buffy finds Riley in the caves, and he's like punching into a rock, and he can't feel any pain. His hand's all bloody and gross.
Why was he doing that? I thought it was like a mole person kind of thing. Like he had something in his brain that went off, and so he goes down and is like, rah, 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 rah.
Oh, he's like, I want to feel something. I want to feel pain or something. I can't feel anything.
Riley.
And he's like, it's not going to be enough for you once they operate on me. And Buffy's like, let's go to the hospital. Doctor's gone. We see the doctor sewing up Spike's skull, and you hear like a clinky clink, meaning that like it's supposed to sound like the chip had fallen into this little metal bowl. Buffy arrives with Riley. They all fight. Spike tries to bite the Slayer, and he gets the head pain. So it turns out that the doctor actually didn't remove the thing, and the doctor's like, I told you I couldn't take it out. I don't know what you want from me. So Buffy is distracted. I'm sorry. Riley has a heart attack when he tries to fight. And Buffy is like, let me help Riley. She gets distracted. Spike and Harmony run off. And Spike is like full blown now. Like everything that's wrong with my life is because of Buffy.
Hates the Buffy. I get it. We've known this.
So the doctor operates on Riley. It's successful. And Graham tells Riley, why are you even in Sunnydale anymore? There's no reason to be here. You're supposed to be in the military. This is what you do. Like, you're just wasting your time here. And Graham is like, Buffy is not going to be enough. You need to have something real. Whatever. So Buffy shows up at Spike's crypt, and she's ready to stake him. And he has no problem with it. He's like, go ahead, put me out of my misery, whatever. And she stops and hesitates. And then she stares at him for a minute, and then they start making out. And she pulls back, and whatever. And it turns out it's just a dream. and Spike has realized that he is in love with Buffy.
Is that what he was realizing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's having gross like sex fantasies about.
I thought it was just like hate sex.
I mean, isn't all sex kind of hate sex when you boil it down? No, just me.
I mean, Brandon,
Well, that's BetterHelp.com.
You do you.
Please sponsor us.
Help.
BetterHelp.com. I don't have really any trivia other than Spike watching Dawson's Creek is great, which I thought you might like. Yeah.
That's the best part. I love Spike. I want Spike and Harmony to really take the place of anything having to do with Riley.
The Czech title is Silenství or Madness.
No.
The French title is Secopa or Nutcase.
No.
The French title is Quand Spike sont mêlés or When Spike Gets Mixed Up in It.
Oh, I like it.
I like it too. And we'll do one more. The German title is Die Initiative Last Grüßen or Greetings from the Initiative.
Greetings from the interior.
So, Jewel, let me get your final thoughts and your letter rating on this episode.
I'm just, come on, girl. Like Buffy was. This story needs to end. That is what I'm noticing about Buffy, and specifically Buffy's relationships. They do not end when they should. I guess that is supposed to mimic real life, and that most relationships do not end when they should. But like, come on. I don't want to hear about Angel ever again, Buffy. I don't want to hear about Riley ever again. Just like move on, get over it, and move on to someone else. Spike is funny. Funny lasts like way longer than these idiots.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, I mean, it was just a very strange episode. There were no other characters really in it. Willow and Xander did not really an appearance at all. I just don't want to see Tara anymore. I just don't get it. I feel like she doesn't add anything to the conversation. I feel like she's just there to agree with Willow, and that's it.
We get a Tara-centric episode in a few weeks that is actually one of my favorite episodes.
I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, Brandon, because I'm not a big fan of Tara's. I think Tara's undercover bad.
Including a guest appearance by a future Oscar winner.
Scare?
This was one of her first roles.
How exciting.
So, yeah. So go ahead, sorry.
What is my letter grade? My letter grade, I mean, it's, it's fine. It's B-.
Yeah. I'm going to give it about I agree with you, actually. The Riley storyline has way overplayed itself. Who cares anymore?
When Adam died, you should have gone.
If I never hear about the initiative again, I'm a happy person. They probably should have killed him off at the end of season 4. It would have given Buffy, I mean, unfortunately, it would have tortured her a little bit, but it would have at least given us something interesting.
When is she not tortured? Exactly.
I agree. I don't like this episode. I mean, I don't hate this episode. It just is. And I guess we had to find out that Riley was ill. So that seems to be the whole point of this episode, is to find out that Riley is ill and that Buffy's mom is having some oopsie daisy fainting moments. So I'm going to say that this episode, you said B-.
B-.
I'll go C+.
Oh, really? I went higher than you. I was trying to be kind.
I'll go a half step down. It's about a C+ for me. I never rewatched this episode. I just don't care about it at all. Okay. Hey, Jewel.
Hey, Brandon.
How are you doing?
Living my existence.
Great. You know what would make your existence more fun is if we had more Patreon subscribers.
Oh my God, it would. It would. I need more people to talk to because you guys.
If you join our Patreon, patreon.com/GAC podcast, we have extended interviews. We have access to our private Facebook group where you can interact with us directly. And with Naomi, who, by the way, is a rock star and a half, who runs our social media and all of our photos.
I don't know what I would do without Naomi.
I worship Naomi.
She's the only person I talk to on Facebook.
We need to get a gift basket or something together for Naomi. I love her. We should have more Patreon subscribers so we can afford a gift basket.
Not even a big one, like an edible arrangement. Oh my God, who doesn't love an edible arrangement?
I hate an edible arrangement. Here's some flavorless cantaloupe. No, thank you.
Oh!
Dude, if you ever get me an edible arrangement, it will go in the trash immediately.
I would love an edible arrangement. I would like some strawberries and chocolate covered fruits.
Dr. Alice says, we're not good enough for you. Alice, you will always be good enough for us. You are our medical advice. However, if we had more people, you'd have more people to give medical advice to, which is exactly what a doctor off duty wants to do.
Well, also, too, we would have more recipes for air fryers and maybe like some healthier ones.
Yes. So, yeah.
What can I air fry?
You can air fry anything, really, is what we found out recently. But, so anywho, so join our Patreon, patreon.com/GAC podcast. It's $5 a month. You won't even notice it's out of your account.
Honestly, it's literally a cup of coffee from Starbucks because nothing is cheaper than $5 there.
Exactly. For just the price of one cup of coffee, you can
or
support
a croissant.
These guys for a month. So anywho, join us, patreon.com/GAC podcast. Hey, Jewel, let's talk about our Angel episode of the week. This episode is called Untouched. A vision from Cordelia.
Boy, is it.
Leads Angel to Bethany Chalk, a runaway teenage girl who possesses uncontrollable telekinetic powers. But Angel is unaware that Bethany is being groomed by Lila to be an assassin for Wolfram and Hart's execution department, like you do. Meanwhile, Darla continues to plague Angel's dreams in her efforts to seduce him into being under her influence. Okay, so jumping right in.
Hopped in. I'm in it, Brandon. I'm deep in.
The episode opens, Lila's in Lindsay's office going through papers and doesn't realize that Darla's in the room. Darla shows that she's using this drug to keep Angel asleep while she manipulates his dreams.
Because she's working for Wolfram and Hart.
Yes. Angel wakes up to find Cordelia and Wesley bickering about whether they should pay Gunn or not, and there's this whole debate about, should they pay him, should they not pay him? Angel gets all snippy about it and threatens to fire Cordelia, and she says, you can't fire me because I'm Vision Girl, and then she has a vision. Right on cue. And they see this young girl, and these men are trying to attack her.
She's really going to get hurt.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
really happening.
She has telekinetic powers, and she crushes these guys with a dumpster.
Yeah,
like Carrie style, Matilda style. I love that scene. So Angel shows up, and he pretends to be a detective. I actually like this bit when he walks up to the rookie cop, and he's like, okay, what do we have here? Like, whatever. Like, this is... And
sorry, Brandon, we missed that.
I'm sorry. I say this is good Boreanaz acting, and we don't
shockingly so.
And we don't have a slew of that in this season. This is a few and far between. These are little nuggets of gold that are delivered to us for sticking through this cesspool. Yeah. And so anyway, he gets all the information, and then of course the real detective shows up after that. He goes inside an old building and he finds the young girl. She freaks out and she throws a piece of rebar through his shoulder. And she's like, oh shit, I killed another dude. That sucks.
And he's like, actually, no, sorry.
And he's like, it's all good. Call me. I want to help you, whatever. And then she leaves and he's like, oh my God, that hurt like a bitch. So she goes back home, and it turns out that she's actually living with Lila, the evil lawyer from Wolfram and Hart, who, by the way, can we talk about Lila? She's gorgeous.
Very pretty.
She is. All I could think of when I was watching that stuff, I was like, she is gorgeous.
What happened to her as an actress?
Not much. And Alice points out that the rebar line with Cordelia was great. When Angel's like, do you know what it's like to recover from getting impaled by a rebar? And Cordelia's like, yeah, actually I do. Like, that's what happens when you live in Sunnydale. You fall on a rebar. Because your witch friend cheated with your boyfriend.
She did, didn't she?
Yeah. And also cheated on her werewolf boyfriend as well. Now she's a lesbian, like you do.
Let's be honest.
So we see Bethany go to sleep, and she's dreaming about her like abusive childhood and her dad. That clearly they're heavily implying that her dad raped her, right? Like that's what we're getting at.
I didn't get like I got like definitely abused and like.
Well, he was doing the like, hey, let's go into the attic and like have daddy and daughter time or whatever. Like it was really, to me, it was very clear that they were going for. He was raping his daughter.
I'm trying to stop with the rapey fathers because I thought the mayor was rapey, and then who knew? Well,
he wasn't rapey at all. He was lovely. I love the mayor.
See, I don't like either of them.
Yeah. Naomi also points out that Charisma Carpenter actually fell into a pool that was under construction when she was a child, and that scar from her rebar is actually real. The rebar went through her in real life. So
she's Rebar Carpenter.
She's Rebar Carpenter. So anyway, Bethany dreams of this dad. She's having like all this fitful sleep. She accidentally psychically throws a lamp at Lila, and then she runs off. She goes to find Angel's help and discuss about their powers. Holland Manners, who is the head of Wolfram and Hart, the older guy, who is a fabulous actor whose name I forgot, who played Bernard on Lost as well.
I never saw Lost. I'm lost.
You don't need to.
Why? Really? Is it that bad?
It did not pay off at all.
They were not found.
And we find out that Lila's been grooming Bethany to become an assassin for Wolfram and Hart. And Holland is like, if this work is unsuccessful, it's going to screw up all of our other projects. So Lila is like on it. She like needs to get this girl back. Angel is talking to Bethany, and Wesley realizes that the powers are, the synopsis that I'm reading also says, sexually abused by her father.
Boom, there it is.
And so Wesley does that mean thing where he's like, yeah, your dad did that to you, right? Remember when your dad did those things to you? Like, maybe you should, whatever.
And then she blew them across the room.
Yeah.
Boom.
And that was just him trying to like trigger her psychic response, which, you know, not a nice thing to do. I wouldn't do that to a person.
Well, they were trying to make her powers work. So like I understood the point of it. But
yeah. Bethany,
they had to know what they were working with, Brandon.
This scene is really interesting when Beth goes into Angel's room while he's sleeping and tries to have sex with him. Because she like has no
boundaries
concept, or like she doesn't know anything other than like, this is what you do for people that help you, is you fuck them. Like it's really horrible. And it's really an interesting, it's an examination of a character and of a story and of a common thing that happens in real life that would have been way better examined by a better TV show. But at least they tried.
At least they brought it to the attention of the mainstream media.
Yes. And he sends her back to bed. And then Angel goes to meet Gunn at one of the attackers' apartments. And he talks to Gunn and says, we're going to pay you. And Gunn's like, sure, let's do it. And they find evidence that someone paid for those thugs to attack Bethany. Cordy talks to Bethany over coffee, and she's like, you're not just a victim, you have a lot of power. And then Wolfram and Hart's people show up and take her in. Angel and Gunn go after them.
That was actually a great scene, though, how they stabbed her in the neck and then picked her, and like it just all kept moving. It was a great scene.
Yeah. Angel and Gunn go after them. Angel gets Bethany back. Wolfram and Hart does a really fucked up thing by bringing her father in to try to intercept her, which makes her just freak out and shoot him out a window. Like
that was great.
That was really great. And then she stops him right before he falls to his death. And because Angel and Cordelia had talked to her about controlling her powers and whatever. She goes and packs up her things in the apartment. And Lila shows up and has a chat with, Lila and Angel have a chat at the door. And Angel says, you need to find someone else's mind to play with. And Lila's like, we already do. Bum, bum, bum.
Because they're making Darla fuck with his head.
Yes. A little bit of trivia before we give our final thoughts. This is the only episode that Joss Whedon directed that he didn't also write of Angel. And that's about it. The German title is Außer Control, or Out of Control, and the French title is
Außer Control.
And the French title is Intouchable, or Untouchable. So, Jewel, what are your final thoughts and letter writing on this episode?
I don't know what happened to me this week, Brandon. I don't know who I am right now. I am lost as a human because I'm going to give this an A-. I really liked it.
Before we started this episode, you told me you hated both of these episodes.
I hated myself for liking it.
Yeah.
There was still hate involved.
Yeah.
Misleading hate. I like to switch it up at the end for you. I did. I really enjoyed this episode. I loved the scene with the in the neck, and then Cordelia was like, "Whoa, what happened?" Two guys grab her. Things keep moving. I was like, "That was."
It's a well-directed episode for sure.
Very well directed.
I think it explores a deep theme, and like I said, a better show, like Buffy even probably could have done a better job with the storyline. But I think that Angel tried, and I think they mostly succeed. It's kind of inconsequential to the grand scheme of things, and there's so many episodes of Angel that are like, weirdly powerful girl is getting attacked and she's okay, and now Angel has to help her not be crazy. Like we've had that like 6 or 7 times now. In some
I just like that girl like beat shit up. Like she used her mind to tear the world to shreds.
Yeah,
like
she
was Carrie. Girl. I loved it. I liked Carrie. I'm down for Carrie.
I do too.
I
I'm all
like
about
Craft.
it. Yeah. I do too. I agree. This episode is pretty good. It doesn't take the story really anywhere new. The Darla stuff is getting a little bit old already. We're 4 episodes in and nothing has happened other than she's fucking with him while he sleeps. I barely remember these episodes because I just really didn't pay that much attention to Angel when it was on. I watched them once and didn't really watch them again. So I'm going to go ahead. Well, you said A- on this one?
I said A-.
I'll meet you there. I'll say
I
A-
liked it.
as well.
I liked it so much. I was so surprised.
Yeah, it was really
I hate
icky.
him.
Will points out that the stuff with the dad was really icky.
Awful,
and all
but
that.
she came out of it.
And happens a lot. And honestly, this episode might have been very empowering to women who had been through this before. I really liked it as well. And I am shocked that I liked it. And I'm really shocked that you liked it. So there you have it.
Same.
Jewel, next week we are going to be covering the episode Dear Boy of Angel. And a Buffy episode that I didn't write down because I'm not intelligent. The Buffy episode that we are covering is No Place Like Home. No Place Like Home, we finally find out who Dawn is. And separately,
thank God.
And separately, we get introduced to the big bad of season 5, who is my favorite big bad and is going to be your favorite big bad. She's wonderful. It's a lady.
Is it what's her name?
Yep, it's her.
No, is it the not Darla but the other one who
Drusilla? No. It's someone you haven't met yet, but you will love her. It's basically if Cordelia was a villain. Like Cordelia on Buffy. If Cordelia on Buffy was a villain.
I have no idea what you're saying.
I believe in our next Angel episode, we finally get some closure on the Darla stuff. And I believe Kate returns as well. So that's all we got, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, I will be coming to you from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And
Mexico!
Will be coming to you from hopefully not having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
So
that would be really great if that.
Oh, you know, we finished a little bit early. I did, if you don't mind, I'd like to real quick tell you a story about that actress that plays the girl. Daisy McCracken is her name, first of all, which is my new drag name, in case you were wondering.
Mine's Molly Rainbow Cringe. Brandon, you're frozen.
Yeah, I'm back. She is like gorgeous ginger, obviously all that stuff. She was kidnapped in real life in 2017, really recently. She and fellow actor Joseph Capone were victims of a kidnapping in Los Angeles. 3 assailants entered her house, pistol whipped the guy that she was with, covered him and his head and her head in black hoods, drove to a house in Compton, stripped the guy nude, bound him, and placed him in a bathtub without food for 30 hours, and drove her around and made her pull money out of ATMs to pay for the release of this guy. And it was $10,000 that they made her pull out of various ATMs. And she was able to escape while she was taking the money out, and she went and told the police, and all 3 of them got life in prison for this. Isn't that crazy?
What?
Yeah, this is that girl from the Angel episode.
That's kind of cool.
I like
to
to
post
think
an article on our Patreon page.
We should. I like to think that this is like maybe her training on that episode of Angel of being like a badass person who survived trauma got her ready for it.
Maybe it did. Maybe Angel saved her life.
Maybe it's doubtful. It's really doubtful. Maybe
Angel training saved her life.
So I just thought I'd share that story. There's and I do need to address one more thing. In the comments, people want me to talk about this tape of David Boreanaz that's leaked of him in a compromising
what tape
situation.
Oh, tell me everything.
No, we're not going to do that. That tape was leaked of David Boreanaz having some alone time on a video camera with somebody else.
Was he? Okay.
He was having his gentleman's moment. I don't like leaked videos and leaked stuff.
I find gentleman's moment.
I find it very rapey and very consent just goes out the window on that. I don't look at celebrity leak nudes. I don't want to talk about David Boreanaz touching himself on a video. It's just not something that I'm interested in. Yeah. It's something I'm not interested in. I don't want to talk about it. And I think it's gross that we celebrate when people's private stuff is leaked, because frankly, a lot of us have some private stuff that we wouldn't like having leaked either.
I
So
don't
that's
have
all.
things like-
Well, I do. And that's all I have to say about that. So that's all I'm going to say about David Boreanaz jerking off and whatever else. So
He was a very good actor in this episode.
well, there's a first time for everything.
I know.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Grr-arg.
We love you.
Grr-arg.
Grr-arg. Bye.
Bye.